Mention American Psycho, and everyone thinks of two things: the business card scene and Christian Bale dancing to Huey Lewis right before he commits an act of memeable violence. It's become a cultural touchstone, a memeified Halloween costume for finance bros who just ironically miss the point. The film is a portrait of an individual. It has so defined our image of who Patrick Bateman is that it's easy for us to forget the source code. Bret Easton Ellis's 1991 novel, where the film is a portrait of a sick individual, Patrick Bateman, this book is a diagnosis of a sick culture. It is a 400-page panic attack that nearly made me nope out. It's relentless. It's pornographic. And it's a deeply, deeply disturbing masterpiece. So today on Paper to Pixels, we're gonna ask, how do you film the unfilmable?
Action.
Ellis's book is all surfaces. It is a meticulous, obsessive, it's a borderline unreadable catalog of brand names that defined the 80s yuppie. Entire chapters are dedicated to the precise cut of a Valentino suit, the brand of mineral water that somebody is drinking, an obsessive multi-page, mind-numbing track-by-track review of a Whitney Houston album. The fucking prose itself is product placement. Talk about meta. Bateman's identity is not built on his character or his morality. It's built on his skincare routine. It's built on his stereo and his ability to get a reservation. There's nothing beneath the surface. The characters don't have personalities, they just have preferences, and they're so interchangeable that they even mistake each other for someone else. The thing is, you can't spend 10 minutes of screen time when you're watching a movie dedicated to a fucking stereo. So, Mary Harron masterfully condenses this theme of consumerism as a battleground into a few iconic and satirical scenes. That business card scene is the perfect example. In the book, it's just a detail that you pass by, but in the film, it is a moment, hilarious moment of life and death tension.
Look at that subtle off-white coloring. The tasteful thickness of it. Oh my God. It even has a watermark.
The watermark! These aren't just details, they are the weapons of social status. When you think about it, isn't that just a perfect dark distillation of the book's theme of critiquing surface level obsession? Between the two works, the film and the book, I think the violence is the most challenging because in the book, the violence is meant to be testing. It's an endurance test because the violence in the book, it's not thrilling, it's not stylized, it's just fucking brutal and repetitive and graphically sexual, and it's all described with that same flat consumer report tone. Because Ellis forces you to confront the horror, and he does it again and again and again and again until you're numb, and then that numbness makes you complicit, and now you're disgusted with yourself.
There's nothing about this whole scenario that doesn't make me so disgusted I want to violently vomit out my own internal organs.
It's a harrowing experience reading this book. You can't film that. Not only would it be unfilmable, but if you could film it, it would just be unwatchable. So what does Mary Harron do? She transforms the violence from a source of desensitizing horror to a source of dark and absurdist humor. Most of the most brutal violence happens off the screen or they're played for laughs. Like the Huey Lewis murder scene, the focus is on Patrick Bateman's passionate C-grade pop music monologue and his ridiculous dance moves, and not on the sickening murder that happens literally just below the camera. And in doing so, she not only makes the film accessible, watchable, she fundamentally changes the nature of the film. Because in the book, the horror is the spectacle. In the film, the horror is still gruesome enough, but it's no longer the spectacle. It's now the punchline. Novel Patrick Bateman is boring. He is a walking, talking collection of brand names, pop culture opinions, and there is nothing inside. He's got no consistent personality, and his motivations don't exist beyond wanting to fit in and satisfying his increasingly violent urges. He's just not a traditional character. If anything, he's more like a symptom. He's like the logical endpoint of a sick culture that's just obsessed with surfaces. He is a hollow man born of a hollow society. And you just can't have a boring character in a film. A film needs a character whose development you can track and to some extent you can connect with. Although that extent is always going to be kept secret, because I am never going to tell you. No one is ever going to tell you how much they actually can relate to Patrick Bateman. So the film makes a crucial change. Through Christian Bale's iconic and star-making performance, film Bateman is dangerously charismatic. He is funny, charming, and he is just terrifyingly magnetic. He's not hollow. He is fascinating. Christian Bale doesn't play Patrick Bateman as some monster trying to fit in. He plays him as this hyper-competitive alien desperately trying to mimic human behavior and then just constantly getting it wrong. And this choice changes everything. The film is not about a sick culture as the book is. The film is about a sick individual who is descending into a private, unreliable reality. I'm not going to spoil anything here. Both the book and the film end famously in ambiguity, and what they are ambiguous about gets at the heart of each respective project, but it's completely different. The novel's ending is ambiguous in a nihilistic way. The implication is that the violence was real, but nobody cares. Society doesn't give a damn. There's no catharsis, there's no punishment, there's no resolution, nothing changes because of what Bateman does. The ambiguity of the film's ending is more psychological because it should leave you second guessing whether the murders happened at all. Was it all the pathetic, lonely fantasy of an incel yuppie type desperately trying to be special? The film gives evidence for both interpretations, and in doing so, it reframes the story as a mystery about a single, broken, deeply unreliable mind. Ultimately, these are two masterpieces attacking the same target, but from two different angles. Bret Easton Ellis's original novel is a cultural diagnosis. It is a brutal and difficult and a confrontational piece of art that uses a relentless, numbing prose style to critique the soullessness of consumerism. You're not supposed to enjoy it. It is an experience you're supposed to endure. And Mary Harron's film is nuanced, sharp, and witty, and it's just an endlessly rewatchable character study. Through Christian Bale's awesome performance, we explore the mind of a single, fascinatingly broken individual. The book tells you that when the whole system is sick, a Patrick Bateman is the inevitable outcome, whereas the film tells you that Patrick Bateman is sick and the best place for him to hide is inside the system.